welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, Gungans, droids, all you Americans out there. I was told this is what Uncle Sam looks like in my multiversal video gaming room. I heard he looks good, so I was like, all right, we're looking good today. Today, my friends, we have a 4th of July AHN special. If you guys in America have a happy 4th of July, all you crazy patriots, and for the rest of the world and galaxy, happy Thursday. We have a lot of stuff I want to get on your radar, a couple of updates that we just got, as well as something people have been really egging me on. They're like, Donald, you got to check this out. We're going to be talking about some big boosts to things like Coruscant Underworld Police. I'm not even kidding. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know, since today is the 4th of July and I traveled through the video gaming realm to get to my family, who just so happens to be in the United States, we're going to be doing the Night Trooper testing tomorrow, alongside a Friday night Grand Arena streams. I hope to see you guys there for Night Trooper testing tomorrow. Plus, all my testing buddies are busy today, and I don't want to bother them. So it's just going to be best if we do it tomorrow. So stay tuned on that. We'll do a nice early stream, and I can't wait to get Night Trooper into our hands. So we'll be there later on. Hope to see you guys there in our Kyber Council, our video gaming division, all that fun stuff. First things first, low blow from Capital Games. People want to know, when's the Jar Jar event returning? August 5th through August 12th. Low blow, they didn't give it to us before or during the raid release, so kind of sucks. A lot of you guys had your Gungans ready for Jar Jar. The good news is, if you watched our Naboo raid guide we did just yesterday, card is up right hand corner, your Gungans should get close to max score pre-Omicron, and with Omicron, people have been confirming it with me as well. You can get a max score with your Gungans, so you can still do a grand majority of the work in the raid without Jar Jar. Jar Jar basically lets you auto it. That's what it kind of seems like. Also, the other concern was, where the hell is Cal Kestis? We thought he was going to be added this update permanently in the journey guide. He will be added next time on July 18th, where he'll be permanently available in the journey guide there. Also, Duel of the Fates will be coming back July 24th. So they're trying to keep it to a monthly schedule. As I said, I didn't want to invest Relic 9. It's a lot of investment until I really know when the frequency is. Seems like they're trying to keep it on a monthly basis. Starting in August, Duel of the Fates Assault Battle return on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. So they're actually committing to a date. Because I think a lot of people like myself, they want to invest in these guys, but they don't want to invest much if it's going to be like sporadic. It's going to be inconsistent when the release date is. So they're committing to it. We should hold them to it at that point. So if they're going to commit to that, I might take my guys to Relic 9 so I can get all the droid brains and all that stuff. And eventually it'll pay itself off after about what we did the math, like after eight months, something like that on average. So now we have this Datacron boost. You know, let me know, guys. I know Datacrons aren't the most exciting form of content. They could be if they did it the right way, but it's still an important aspect of the game, and I have been slacking quite drastically. You know, I keep up with their team rankings, you know, Zetas, Omicrons. I don't really keep up with the Datacrons. If you guys want, I will make a bigger effort to kind of show recommended Datacrons in our ultimate spreadsheet that we have. I'll create a new tab for Datacrons. Let me know. Maybe I can see if I can have someone help me out, because it's a lot of work to keep updating it. And yeah, I don't know if you guys really care about it. So let me know if you guys find Datacron stuff like that to be helpful. I will start adding it to the spreadsheet again. But here's what we have. A lot of weird stuff that they're trying out for the first time. There is no faction bonus. They're going for tag bonuses, like your role bonuses. So support, healers, attackers, tanks. But they do have characters that will be getting bonuses, such as Coruscant Underworld Police, Stormtrooper Han. A lot of people think Stormtrooper Han's gonna be interesting. We also got other things, for example. So it's really just a bunch of mishmashy stuff. Night Trooper, of course, gonna get a Datacron, which is exclusive to the Night Trooper marquee. You're gonna have to whale to get this guy and his Datacron, so that's their incentive they're trying to give you. But again, and also Wampa. I've been having a hard time getting Wampa to work. There might be a chance Wampa's gonna be back on the menu, boys and gals, for Kyber 1 players. So let's get to it and show you what we have here, my friends. So starting off with the level 3s, a lot of weird stuff here. Normally there's like an obvious go-to, like the current set, you want to have the max health, you want to have the max protection. The previous set, you want to either have the ramping speed or the tenacity and potency up. Here there's a variety of stuff. You know, you can, for example, deal 2% and max damage to an enemy when you apply debuffs. You also have the self-cleanse, which is probably skippable. The basic here, which gives critical chance up, critical damage of offense up. That sounds kind of nice as well. You know, health recovers play, So the most notable one is probably that light side number 3 here with the buffs, but also the damage based off max health. Could be good for something like Dash Rendar potentially. Also the dark side. This is where we're going to see Wampa, I think, get back on the menu. They had this before. They're bringing it back in the full circle. Whenever allies inflict damage over time on an enemy, they gain a stack of protection up. Great for Wampa. Great for Lord Vader. as well. So whenever the current set goes away, I'm assuming Lord Vader will gravitate towards that. Also, we have the tank revive thing where when they die, they come back, you reset their cooldowns, they get a bonus turn. You also have the speed up for the basics. That might be great for Imperial troopers to get them to roll. Also, whenever it allies the special ability, they gain 15% turn to the dark side. I feel like they're getting more interesting stuff. As I said, I think this is going to be one of the more robust sets that we've had where it's not just one faction, it's a variety of stuff. So this is why I brought up the suggestion. Maybe I should get back and do the Datacron stuff. It's only once every 3 months, right? It's not that bad. So maybe I should start doing that. And I'll let you guys know if I do update that, if you guys want to see it. And then here's where things get interesting. Like normally they have like Night Sisters, you know, Galactic Republic, Jedi for the level 6s. This really opened up to every single faction. That's why I said, and this is why people want my thoughts too, this is going to be one of the craziest Datacron sets. Where for the healers, you have a few things. Whenever a character is healed by an allied healer, they reduce their cooldowns by 1. I mean, especially now that we opened this up to the entire game, how many healers are there in the game? How many characters can have their cooldowns reduced by 1? That is a nutty ability right there. Whenever an ally healer's critical hit, they recover 10% health and gain 10 speed stacking for the rest of the encounter. Again, that's another crazy thing. Another thing we have here, whenever an ally is revived on an ally healer's turn, all allies recover 100% max health and max protection. My gosh. And again, light side, dark side healers. Like think of Night Sisters. Like you would think, you know, Night Sisters are gonna love that, right? It doesn't have to be dark side, light side as far as I can tell. The first time each healer ally is defeated, they are revived and recover 100% max health. So, but like immediately, I just thought of Night Sisters right there, man. So again, keep your eyes peeled. A lot of interesting stuff going on here. We also have, I'm not sure if this, I'm assuming, are these different or is this all one? Is this all one Datacron? That's why I'm a little confused the way they formatted this. Because now there's another space here. I think I have to assume this is all one Datacron on this level 6 here. Dang, that's crazy. I think this is all separated. Whenever allies target another ally with an ability during their turn, they both gain 5% defense. Lame. Compared to that, wow. At the end of each turn, allies recover health protection equal to 50% about the enemy. Lame. We've had that before. Whenever allies recover health, they recover protection equal to the amount of health. Lame. Whenever healer allies have full health protection at the start of the turn, they deal 100% more damage in their turn. That might be okay, but yeah, if this is all one, this could read as each individual is a different level 6. This looks to be the full package right here. Actually, it should already be in game. I can probably answer this for you guys right away. I think I have enough shard shop currency to pick up one of these. It's already, yeah, it's already in game. So here, let's just pull it up real quick. This is probably gonna be the better way of looking at this. Gary, pull up my game real quick. There you go. So yeah, it's already in game. I'll go ahead and pick one up for right now. Then let's go hop on over. I can't upgrade them. I don't have the materials at the moment, but we can go ahead and at least see more accurately if that truly is everything. Sorry, alignment. We want to go to faction. Let's see, go to healer. Yeah, that is all one. That's all one lumped up ability. You could honestly think that was each individual was a different Datacron. That is all lumped in as one. Well, what do you know, people? Wow, things are gonna get crazy in this game, people. Moving on to support characters. I think we can presume the first one, generally more words equals more better in this game. It's probably gonna be the better one to have. Whenever a support ally starts their turn, dispel tenacity from all enemies and then reduce their tenacity by 100% until the end of the turn. Whenever support inflicts debuff on an enemy, all allies gain benefits based on their role. Wow. You know, this is gonna be great for Grief Karga because he's a support character. He's going to be able to inflict a debuff on an enemy. All allies are going to get benefits. Attackers get 10% critical damage. Healers get 5% tenacity. Supports get 10% potency. Tanks get 5% defense. Whenever a support grants a buff to another ally, they also inflict buff immunity on one turn on all enemies. Shoot. I can see why you guys are like, Arnold, we need to hear your thoughts on this. This is... I keep saying this is a crazy set. This is a crazy set. Like, there are usually key crazy things like, you know, crazy deflection, crazy dodge. This set, the Gungans are just out of control. This just seems like they opened up the faucet to the whole entire game. At the end of their turn, allies recover 50% protection. They inflict at least 5 debuffs in that turn. Lame. Whenever ally grants buff to another ally, they gain 10% turret. That's okay. Whenever allies attack out of turn, they have 20% chance to move 10% turret. All right, whatever. And then whenever an ally deals damage to an enemy and no other enemy's ability block, inflict ability block. Yeah, okay. Again, definitely this one seems a little bit better than the other ones that we have here. Then the attackers. And again, is this just... Here, let's pull it up in game. So this... All right, so these are multiple. Again, the way they formatted this looked a little bit odd, but I could see the little breaks right here. So these are all individual ones. Whenever an attacker critical hits, they attack again. Fennec Shan, she's gonna love that. Otherwise, they gain 10% defense penetration. Whenever an attacker attacks on a turn, they deal bonus true damage, which can't be evaded. Whenever allies critically hit an enemy during their turn, that ally gains 10% offense stacking for 2 turns. Okay. Whenever an ally defeats an enemy, they take a bonus turn. That's gonna be great for like Dark Trooper potentially. At the end of their turn, allies gain defense penetration up. Yeah, all these are whatever. This one right here, you want to get into attack again with stacking defense penetration. And then the tanks. At the start of their turn, tanks gain 20% of their max health as protection. And then the first time they lose all protection, recover 100% protection and gain 50% max protection. Whenever tanks, same ability still. Whenever tanks are inflicted with a debuff, they taunt for 2 turns. Oh my. While taunting, they receive 50% less damage from out of turn attacks and assists whenever allies use a special ability. And then the next one's a separate one. Whenever the tank is critically hit, they gain 100% critical avoidance. At the start of each turn, if non-galactic legend allies have 50% more Terminator damage, they receive reduced by 75%. That's kind of a big deal. That's gonna be a big deal right there. That's a good one too. Ooh, that's kind of in competition with that first one we read. And then we have the grit right here, which is all right. We've seen grit before. And then we have allies, they start damage immunity. Okay, I think the biggest thing is this is the way I'm looking at this right now. You know, previous Datacron sets, you kind of know, all right, I need one Gungan thing, I need one Imperial Trooper thing, I need one Resistance thing. Here, this affects all your teams, and then you got to decide, all right, do I want an attacker Datacron for this team? Like for Troopers, you probably want a support one, right? You know, because it's mostly a support-oriented team. Okay, but then you have something like, you know, the Fennec Shan team, where it's kind of a mixture of supports and attackers and tanks. All right, well, what Datacron's more important? You see, there's just a lot of variety that you got to figure out and kind of navigate through. And then we have all this. They picked some pretty wild stuff here. Jedi Counselor getting some love here. While Jedi Counselor is active, all Jedi allies are immune to healing immunity. Whenever Jedi Counselor uses his basic ability, reduces cooldowns by 1, and he gains 7% max health, so he can just go crazy up to 210%. Whenever Jedi Counselor heals an ally, the spell all debuffs on them, and they gain Jedi's Will. Jeez, for 2 turns. Whenever Jedi Counselor uses Jedi Healing, revive all non-Jedi allies. Wow, so this is going to be like a plug-and-play guy. With 100% max health and max protection. Man, and whenever Jedi Counselor uses an attack as defense, deal bonus true damage equal to 50% of his max health, which again is scaling. The first time Jedi Counselor falls below 25% health, he gains 100% evasion for 2 turns. What were they? Man, they weren't pulling back punches. Well, if you have Jedi Counselor up and running, which a lot of you guys are probably, well, maybe not a lot of you guys, some of you guys have them already up and running, and some of you guys might be building them up. I guess there's a Datacron to go along with it. Barisafi. Whenever Barris uses a special ability, all Jedi allies gain 50% max protection stacking, which goes up to 150%. Whenever she gains turn meter, all allies gain 10% max health, which goes up to 150%, and she gets a lot of turn meter. I don't even know what this game is right now. It's like, yeah, boy. For the rest of the encounter, and she dispels all buffs from a random enemy. Anytime she gets turned, she's dispelling buffs. Whenever Barris has critical hit, all Jedi allies gain 10% critical damage. I'm gonna make a call. This might be one of, for those that wail on Datacrons, I think this might be one of the whaliest. This might be their most profitable Datacrons. There's just, everything looks so good, and you're gonna want so many of these for those that need to build up Datacrons. Visa Smart, the first time she's defeated, there's at least one of the active allies. She revives all other defeated allies. Okay, that's gonna be great for Star Killer, especially like in Territory Wars, perhaps. IG-11, whenever another ally covers protection. All right, that's pretty skippable. Ewok Elder at the start of each turn, they reset their cooldowns. Yeah, Ewok Elder, kind of passable. Although I think it's kind of passable. There's probably gonna be some good combinations with Ewoks and the support attacker and the tanks here, special support tanks. You know, although even though by itself it looks kind of lame, it's probably gonna be a lot better. And here we go, Coruscant Underworld Police taking over Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Whenever Coruscant Underworld Police uses a special ability, you shock all enemies. Was it like Palpatine all of a sudden? Which can't be evaded or resisted. The first time Coruscant Underworld Police reaches 50% health, he gains damage immunity for 3 turns. At the start of his turn, he gains 15% offense per active ally. And I'm assuming it just keeps ramping up. He has attacks ignore protection, and a random ally recovers 100% protection until the end of his turn. Whenever Kappa uses a special ability, all allies assist, and the target enemy loses 10% max health. Like, is this supposed to go in like a Master Kenobi team or something? He has other stuff, but this one's by far the best. And I guess, again, what do you want to do with Cup? Whenever a basic ability, other allies gain 25% to it, so he can just pump Terminator. He's going to be a plug-and-play dream. Whenever Cup stuns an enemy, gain 10%. Lame. You want to go for this one, the number 1. Number 2 could have some good stuff. Number 3, yeah, not as good as the other one. Darth Nihilus getting love. Again, just a bunch of mishmashy stuff. When Nihilus reduces cooldowns, he gains 75% off and 20% turn meter for 1 turn. Whenever Nihilus defeats an enemy, expose all enemies which can't be evaded. When Nihilus inflicts a damage over time, all allies gain 3 stacks of heal over time. And if there's another Sith support, so Traya, Darth Nihilus gains 100% max health. He's going to be thick. There's another Darth Nihilus Datacron, not worth her oxygen, not as good as the other one. Shorty's got damage reflection on her, as well as another Datacron which dispels all the debuffs on her. Not as crazy, but again, when you pair it up with some of the other stuff, there might be some cool combos, but the level 9 itself doesn't look all that crazy. Trip getting some love, maybe to help Dr. Aphra out a little bit. Whenever Trip uses an ability to deal more damage equal to half their tenacity, this effect will only trigger if they have more than 0%. Whenever Trip scores a critical hit, gain damage unit for 1 turn, which would be nice, which can't be copied. 25% turner blinds an enemy. This is probably the better one right here. Which can't be evaded or resisted. And if the enemy was target locked, also gain protection up. Retribution speed up. It's looking good. Now, Wat Tambor is kind of odd. Whenever another ally is defeated, he takes a bonus turn and resets their cooldown. I think that's probably the one you're going to want to have. However, whenever Wat Tambor deals damage to an enemy, remove 25% turn meter from that enemy. The only thing I can imagine is maybe that also takes into consideration the Datacron, maybe? No, the light side allows them to do max health damage. Yeah, I don't know. I guess when he does his revive, right, it triggers all the damage over times and whatnot. So maybe that's where the damage comes in. But I think this is probably the better one. You want to get the revives whenever anyone's defeated. Take a bonus turn, reset their cooldowns. That's probably the one you want to have right there, especially for Admiral Trench, because his Datacron's being kicked out of here soon. Now, Stormtrooper Hound is also very interesting. Whenever Stormtrooper Hound gains taunt, all allies gain protection up, 50% of it. Shoot. While Stormtrooper Hound is taunted, gains 100% counter chance and defense and is immune to critical hits. Whenever Stormtrooper Hound removes turn meter from an enemy, reset draw fire's cooldown. All allies have 50% offense. Man, this is gonna be great with, I think, Galactic Legend Leia. I think also Sana will be great with this. All allies have 50% offense while Stormtrooper Hound's health is above 50%. That's an easy threshold. And all allies gain 70% defense when his health is below 50%. So basically kind of taking his lead, his plan B lead, kind of turning it into a Datacron. This could be great with Leia. There's another one, Stormtrooper Han. The first time he goes to 100% health without dying. Yeah, it's not as great. Yeah. Garth Saxon, probably gonna be great with Mandalorians, or, you know, maybe if you just do Garth Saxon Super Commando in any type of lineup. Whenever Garth inflicts speed down on an enemy, he also inflicts vulnerable, which is gonna be pretty often, which can't be copied to spell, blah, 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 blah. And his cooldowns are reset. Whenever Garth Saxon attacks on a turn, which is like all the time, he blinds the enemy for 1 turn. And if Super Commando is an active ally, Garth Saxon assists whenever Imperial Super Commando uses his special ability. Yeah. Mandalorian people, you got some love here. The other one, not as interesting. Vander Chewie, not that interesting. We have here, I mean, the max health per relic amplifier might be nice. You know, but again, not as impressive as some of the other stuff. Bosk, we already kind of theory craft already immediately a lot of bounty hunter stuff. With Bosk, though, whenever Bosk uses the base ability, he gains protection up for 2 turns and 50% turn meter. So get him as many turns as possible, more assisting, hopefully. Whenever Bosk damages the enemy using his special ability, inflict fear. Whenever Bosk stuns an enemy, stacking damage, increased speed, which is fine, but the other one's more interesting. Gamorrean Guard. Gamorrean Guard, it sucks that Gamorrean Guard doesn't really have a home. You know, you could put it in a HUD cartel, but it's not great. But if he loses taunt, you get a big turn meter removal from the enemy, 50%. Anfis Nest is going to be kind of nuts, too. Immune to health reduction effects. Oh, boy, that sounds pleasant. Whenever Nest inflicts a debuff, on the enemy, she gains critical damage up, 20%, until the end of the encounter. When she uses a special ability, she attacks again, dealing additional 20% as true damage. Whenever Nest attacks on a turn, she exposes the target enemy. And at the start of her turn, damage is increased by 10% for every enemy turn taken before until the end of her turn, and will assist the next other ally to take a turn. What a weird way of phrasing it, but yeah. It's going to be kind of nuts. But you know what else is nuts? Her being able to get a revive. The first time she's defeated, they're revived at 100% health and protection over time. Oh, gosh. And takes bonus turn. That just sounds like a nightmare. Iden Versio at the start of the encounter, Iden gains taunt, which is fine because she can revive, right? Which can't be dispelled until she's defeated. Whenever a non-droid Imperial Trooper is defeated, she gains taunt again, which can't be dispelled until she's defeated. Iden Versio gets terminated when other allies use special abilities. I think the taunt's probably a little bit nicer because, again, once the taunt is down, they're kind of open. If Iden Versio is taunting, it gets a little bit more complicated. and the Night Trooper. Now, the Night Trooper is going to be a marquee exclusive one. And again, tomorrow when we do Night Trooper testing, I'll show you all their awards. And presumably, it's going to be good. If Padawan Open was an indication, they really want to incentivize you to spend the moolah to get the characters, and the Datacron is just a cherry on top. At the start of the battle, Night Trooper gains 75% potency and 25 speed until the end of the encounter. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with a stack of Blight, they inflict themselves with another stack. So you're double timing it, basically. Which can't be dispelled until the end of the encounter or until they are fully recover their health. Whenever an enemy that already has Blight is inflicted with another stack of Blight by an ally, inflict Blight on another random enemy that doesn't have it, which can't be dispelled until the end of the encounter or until they fully recover health. And whenever Night Trooper uses Shambling Shot, they gain another 3 stacks of Blight until the end of the encounter. And then whenever an ally or enemy gains or is inflicted with Blight, Night Trooper recovers 20% health and gains 25% off. So apparently the damage should be good, just based off the kit reveal. We'll have to wait and see. The biggest question is right now, how do we use Night Trooper? You know, do we throw it with Imperial Remnants with Gideon? Do we throw it with the Night Sisters? Because again, we know there's a future Imperial Remnant team. We know there's a future Night Sister team, but I'm hoping we can still see something cool for the time being. We got Sabine. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, Sabine takes a bonus. Dude, these people are not playing around this go around. During this bonus turn, deal 100% more damage. This bonus turn can't trigger effects on enemies. Oh, wow. So she's just going to keep taking turns, keep doing her AoE, keep trying to throw out the stagger, trying to pull back tons of turn meter. At the start of her turn, 20% yeah, I'm not going to read that. And then a few more here. Young Han, you know, a lot of buff ramping stuff going on here. Who knows? I think there's more important ones going on here. We have Wampa. This is the one that probably a lot of you guys are going to be interested in. Whenever Wampa inflicts debuff, they recover 20% of their max health and max protection. That's kind of helpful. You know, you want to make sure you're not dying. But also, whenever Wampa uses his ability, they deal more damage equal to half their potency. This effect will only trigger if you have more than 0% potency. I don't think that's the good one. I mean, the damage is not the problem. The survivability is the problem. And once you survive, the damage will ramp up. So by far, if you're going for Wampa, I think it's a pretty clear cut. You're going to want that, and you're going to want that protection over time thing for the damage over time that we talked about. Geo's and Soldier, you know, helping out the Geos a little bit. Whenever they critically an enemy, you get 10% critical damage, defense penetration, offense, And then another Geo's and Soldier one. Whenever he damages an enemy with a special ability and the enemy does not have Armor Shred, you're going to inflict Armor Shred. This is a little bit better. Whenever Geo's and Soldier uses the basic ability and damages an enemy with Armor Shred, just like all the time, inflict exposed on that enemy, which can't be resisted. They get protection over time. And remember, they share their protection, so it's going to passively help out your team. So if you're building up Geonosians, that is the one to have. But man, there are a lot of winners here. A lot of winners. This is by far one of the most robust Datacron sets that we've ever had. It affects every single faction, every single character, and the level 3s and the level 6s. It's a question of what do you need more for a particular team? If you're doing remnants, like for example, do you want to go more for the support stuff, the attacker, the tank? There's a lot of options. Again, that's one thing that's not the one of the nicest about Datacron is the variety it does give. It mixes things up. But again, as always, it's the way you have to pursue Datacrons and gain them is the really big problem. Nonetheless, people, as I said, big shout out to all you Americans out there, all you patriots. Hope you enjoy your 4th of July for the rest of the galaxy. I will meet up with you tomorrow for Night Trooper testing, Friday night Grand Arena. It's going to be a great way to wrap up the week before we hit the weekend. But until then, leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And somebody, I feel like we're missing something, right? Oh, that's right. Always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.